today, particularly the first one we're going to begin with. Let me just quickly read a couple. I think, let me just look at the papers and see who carried the story. Ghanaian Times has police arrest 16 over UTV invasion. We have NMC, GJA, NPP and government, Primpag, NDC, others condemn attack on UTV. We also have the graphic saying the police arrest 16 for invading UTVs. So everybody's carrying the story. Invasion of UTV, police swoop on hooligans. 16 arrested following complaint lodged by the Ministry of Information. We have, it says Media Commission, Primpact, GJA condemn attack. And then the Herald also says NPP thugs storm UTV to attack. A+ on live program. Apart from that, we also have on citynewsroom.com quite a few headlines also covering the same story. Let me just read one quick one and then we'll get into the conversations. Now, NPP apologizes to UTV, distances itself from studio invasion. Now, the governing NPP, New Patriotic Party, has stated that it did not authorize or sanction the invasion of UTV studios by some of its members. These individuals entered the studio to disrupt a live show in protest against comments made by one of the panelists. Now, the police have already arrested 16 persons allegedly involved in the incident. And the Director of Communications for the NPP, Richard Ahiagba, said in an interview with Citi TV that the party will cooperate with the police to ensure that those responsible are held accountable. And I quote, "The party did not sanction anyone to go and disrupt the United Showbiz program, as was reported. We have moved swiftly to make an apology to them, and we are going to cooperate with the police to investigate the matter." And he goes on and he says, "We think that the attack is unacceptable and it's condemnable." Okay, so those are the words of the NPP Director of Communication. Let me start with you, Mensah Thompson. Your thoughts on things happening?
Yes, thank you very much. A very good morning to our viewers out there. And let me begin by saying that this weekend, I'm sitting here in black because I think the whole country needs to be in mourning state.
Why?
We are not mourning the death of anybody, but we are mourning the death of our democracy. And I'm truly saddened that I have to sit here on TV on a Monday morning not to discuss economic issues, things that go to resolve the economic challenges of the people, but to discuss an invasion of party hooligans into a media house during a live broadcast. I mean,
can I ask you?
If anybody, I'm coming, please. Okay. If anybody told me that he dreamt that this could happen in Ghana under a democracy, I would have said, "No, man, you're going crazy."
But it's not the first time it's happened.
No, I'm coming. You see, this sort of rationalization that it's not the first time it has happened is what sometimes emboldens some of these hooligans and reckless party activists.
You're making a categorical comment that if someone had told you that such a thing will happen in democracy, as if it's the first time it's happening. That's what I'm correct.
So it's my statement. Okay. If you choose to interpret it as such, that is up to you. But I haven't made a categorical statement here that is the first time this is happening. I am saying that I am truly sad. I am truly saddened by this event.
Okay.
And you see, let's not take it as a joke. You're a journalist. You're working in a media house. And these are things that affect you directly. and everybody who works here. And I will shudder to think that one day we can be sitting here in a live broadcast, and because somebody sitting in their homes don't like what we are saying, they will invade this place. Is that how a country with rule of law operates? Is that how a civilized society operates? And look, I have seen the hypocritical posture of the New Patriotic Party government on this matter. And I tell you what, they should excuse us with the charade. I've seen Kojo Oponkroma and everybody, shallowly trying to distance themselves from the action. My brother, we all know that it is a New Patriotic Party who was behind that attack. How did the attack happen? Let me start from the beginning.
Okay. You mean the party as
the
a party?
A party and the government.
They were the ones behind the attack.
Who wrote a letter to UTV? That long, useless letter to UTV, asking them that they bring entertainers to discuss certain things on the show and they don't bring people to speak from the government. Is it compulsory?
No.
Who said that there's only... Look, truth is truth. If people are sitting on TV and they are discussing the truth, do you need anybody... At the point we are in as a country, do Ghanaians need anybody from government to come and tell us how our life is? And so, if you want good things to be discussed, even on entertainment shows, rule the country well, govern the country well, do the right things. But don't do the wrong things and expect that people will come and sit on TV and sing your praise. And when they don't, you send tax to the house to say that because they don't allow somebody to come and sing your praise. What sort of ridiculousness is this? How does governance become so useless in this country? How? How did we even get here, my brother? How did we get here?
So in your mind, you are quite sure that the government is behind this?
This is not the first time this happened. Me, I have been a victim of this.
Okay.
I have been on several media houses where the information minister, Kojo Oponkroma, have called the producers that why do they allow me to come and sit on TV and criticize the government like that? And that is how this ridiculousness started.
But this claim that you're making.
I'm saying I have been on live TV, on the same UTV. I have been on live TV.
How did you know it was the minister of
Why?
Information?
If you make a call to the producer, don't they? There are several times. It's not even only Kojo Oponkroma. Several other people, party people, including this Owusu Bempa guy.
Okay.
No, my brother. You see,
yes.
I'm saying that. You see, this culture is not something, that is new. It has been in, but because we've not been bold to nip it in the bud, that is why now they are taking it to a new level. And this is the approach that they want to use going into 2024. What happened on UTV over the weekend is just them testing that if these tactics will work in 2024. Because their plan is that they are not going to allow any truthful opinion on the airwaves prior to the elections. And so, when they started this way, and they see that Ghanaians become morbid about it, then they will escalate it in 2024. And this is
but
the
the
danger.
police have already arrested the people.
You see, it's just fun. You see, that is the most ridiculousness of all this whole.
You don't want the police to arrest them?
You know what? I saw them on TV. You know what the police did on TV when they went to the place? The commander who went to the place, when they called him that thugs have invaded the house, he was just negotiating with the boys. We are party, and the guys were sitting. Look at the video. I'll show you the video. The guys were sitting comfortably on the seat the panelists were supposed to sit, and the policeman was standing there negotiating with them. They just carried them in a chariot, took them, and then gave them bail. All of them are sleeping in their houses as we speak. You see, and you want to tell me that this is not a government-sponsored attack? You want to tell me that persons in government do not know anything about this? And the claims, the boys said that their party wrote a letter to UTV and one of the panelists tore the paper into pieces. And that is why...
I actually saw that episode.
And that is why they have invaded the studio. My God, under democracy, under a president whose whole life has been mounted on a propaganda of human rights activists. Now we too know. They say when the frog dies,
But
that is when we know the length of that frog. Today we know that that whole human rights, what accolade that they propounded and put on the head of President Kufuor was all nothing but a charade. Nothing but a charade. He does not believe in. He does not believe in rule of law. He does not believe in human rights. He does not believe in freedom of the press. He believes nothing. The president's conduct, hasn't the president's conduct demonstrated enough that the guy does not believe in rule of law? Weren't we in this country when thugs attacked a court? A sitting court. A judge had to run away, carry his wig like this and run away. Under a lawyer as president, who is a member of the Bar Association. Which country does this happen? Which country? And you tell me that all these credentials, the stifled press freedom, a sitting president under whose watch a journalist has been murdered till date, the killers have not been found. A president under whose watch journalists from your own media house here were arrested, were detained at national security and molested. And you want to tell me that this is a person who believes in rule of law? If we lived in a country where the president believed in rule of law, democracy and freedom of the press, these things would have been met with an iron fist. But look at what we see. And let me use this opportunity to serve a very strong warning to the government and the NPP party operators. I am waiting for one day that I will be on a show and any tag will enter the studio.
But you said something's happened before.
No, they haven't entered the studio.
Okay, all right.
But I'm waiting for that day. I'm waiting for that day.
What will you do?
I will be on a show like this.
What will you do that day?
And tags, hooligans.
What will you do that day?
We'll invade. Let it happen and we'll see. You see, we are not cowards in this country. Let nobody think that we are women and we are afraid of people. We are afraid of them. Let nobody think that we are going to sit down in a democracy. Nobody is more Ghanaian than anybody in this country. Presidents have come, presidents have gone. People have been criticized. What didn't we do to President Atamils in this country? To the extent that we even use his own illness to mock him. Did anybody invade the media house?
Okay.
On a live television?
Thank
Please.
You.
We're waiting for one day that thing. Let anybody try that nonsense.
Take a breather.
They will see.
Take a breather.
What sort of foolishness is this?
Take a breather. Mr. Okansi.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll start by saying that, you see, even in the animal kingdom where stupidity and vandalism can be associated with their essential characters, there is, orderliness, and how much more we humans, blessed with the faculty of a brain and, sensible ways of doing things. We've been empowered, trained in the house. We've had the opportunity of education. I mean, those who went to...
You're assuming we've all been trained in the house.
Oh, well, it will be given to you. You will take it or not.
Okay. Okay, fair
enough. And then
enough.
in the classroom, you'll be told to do A, B, and C. You will take it or not. Because the gentleman who was speaking English. I mean, he's been lettered, so you would expect better from him. So I think this is totally unacceptable. Is an attack on the media and media freedoms and the freedoms of rights of citizens. So I didn't see it as an attack on UTV. I saw it an attack on all you journalists.
And free expression.
Exactly.
It's just free expression, an attack on free expression.
So and it's a hands down on commercial activities. Yeah. Some people have paid for their products to be advertised on the show. Yeah. I mean, what do you say to them? I mean, people, it's a shutdown on an entertainment avenue. People were waiting to watch. Look, there's a lot of stress in the country. People just want to, have some space to, relieve tensions. Yeah. So it was another issue there. But let me tell you the causes. We've motivated offenders. Like, I remember when a whole regional security coordinator was dragged out of his office, the Tagri went on and he was spared. In the law court, a law court in Ghana, thugs entered the law court and dragged out offenders. We sat and watched. So I think the courts have received theirs. We've seen police officers being manhandled. I remember in 2017, a police officer was manhandled in the Flagstaff House.
Yeah.
You remember?
I remember that.
That is the Tagri. So we saw Tagri at our seat of government. We saw Tagri in courts.
The judiciary.
And then we have seen Tagri on the media. I mean, the fourth estate. I mean, so it started in the House of Executive. It went to the judiciary. And we have seen another one. So, I mean, for me, I think this is how we have decided to motivate offenders. Now, the next thing is actually politicization of a crime. Well, they mentioned a political party. I would not see any political party. I would decide not to see a political party. I have seen offenders.
Yeah.
And as to whether their political party comes to say they will help the police, whether they help the police or not, it is not my concern. I'm a civil rights activist. I think individuals must be held for their actions and inactions. Okay? For entering the studio, they should tell us what they were going there to do. I was surprised, however, how the police handled them against Bridget Otu, who was actually going to, as from the CSO community, to actually protest. On a protest that the police were informed, they were served letters. The police found it important to drag people inhumanely into cells. Same police officers on a studio were standing there and chatting with these offenders, these intruders. At that moment, they were intruders. And the police were telling them they were going to check their studio.
Intruders on private property.
That is how unfortunate the situation was. Look, and there was an issue of gross disregard for the law. You see, people have the taste for truancy and gross insubordination and hooliganism. Some people just have that taste. So if you allow them, that's how they'll end up behaving. One issue is unemployment. How many lawyers or doctors do you think will go and do this? Look, if you put politicians or whoever, businessmen who would intrude that space with their monies and influence these people. Look, I'm not trying to hold brief for you. I know you. And on air, I won't coax you on air. I'm telling you, I know you won't go and do what they were doing, whether for bread, for butter, or for gold or car. Whatever they were promised. But I know you, my friend, will not do this. No. So the devil will always find work for the idle hands. We've created situations, and people always caution this country that we are sitting on a time bomb. People should be cautioned and be so worried about such acts. You know, it starts from somewhere. Somebody thinks it is the right thing to do, and people follow up. And you know, this is how they test the security pulse of a country. Yeah. They'll be testing whether there's anything like law in the country. Yes, there's law. But if you start selective justice, then people will just go and belong to this place at this moment, and then they'll feed into the system. Finally, I think we should look at the issues. What do we do as we move forward? I think we should all condemn it, and I'm happy the groups that are condemning it. But we don't stay in there and then expect that once we've condemned it, it is no. Let's identify the offenders and punish them. But go beyond punishing them. Let's see whether there are some people behind them who are motivating these gentlemen, engaging them to come and engage in such truant acts. If you don't heal it from that point, then you just select these 16 people and jail them. There will be another 16 that will be coming, or 30 more. Then also we should look at removing the politics, you know, and dealing with the people. If you decide to go and belong to a political party, and the only job look, let me talk to the young people of this country. You actually belong to a political party. There are young people your age. Some are ministers. The age groups that were in the studio, some of their age groups have been made ministers. Some are CEOs of state enterprises. Yeah. Some of them have been given other appointments. You are being engaged into Tagri. You can speak this level of English, but this is what you have been served to go and do. To invade somebody's property and invade a show. That is your role, and that is what you were taught in the classroom. Peace be you. Finally, you see, let's tame fools and save this nation. I'll repeat this, please. Let us tame fools. The word foolish is in the Bible, you are aware?
Yeah. It is.
Yes.
Several times.
Yes. So there is no polishing of the word. If somebody is foolish, you have to call the person foolish. If you don't tame fools in a country, you risk a nation. And you see, call them terrorists, call them rebel leaders. They start like this. I mean, when there's no check, that child who was pampered when he was misbehaving is the child you are seeing misbehaving as armed robbers, as thugs. And They start from somewhere.
Yeah.
The thickest, the most stubborn armed robber was once a child. Could have been tamed at that age. But the sparing of a rod, like the Bible said, you spare the rod, you spoil the child. And the child becomes an adult. And then one day we pretend we don't know. One day we pretend we don't know how they started. Look, let us tame fools before we lose our nation.
We have a couple of minutes before we go for a break. I wanted to ask this question. Why do people feel like, because I kept hearing this comment, it's an entertainment show, don't discuss politics. It's like you, people who don't.
What is politics?
I don't know. I was really shocked. It's like what kind of human being thinks like that?
You see, I have always have a problem with this whole, NPP pairing. In this country, everything has been reduced to NPP NDC.
It's like if somebody comes on the show and the person shows political colors, you should have another person who shows opposite political colors. Right? Meanwhile, the show is not designed to discuss politics. It's an entertainment show. But I'm just saying that even though it's an entertainment show, politics is part of life.
Political colors.
Yeah. No.
You see, if somebody has an opinion
about
something
yes.
that is contradictory to yours,
yes.
it doesn't mean he belongs to another party.
What do we have against politics?
There are Ghanaians in this country who don't, how do you call it? Who don't, identify with any political party.
No, but last week,
but they have opinion.
No, it's true. But for example, last week I watched a bit of it, and then I saw, I think he calls himself Bull God now, and he clearly said the host pushed him, and he said, "Yes, I stand for NDC." Right, so he clearly brought himself out, and then the other person who was what's his name? He has a he has a showbiz name. He said he was NPP. For me, that's not an issue. We should allow.
For me, but so as long as the laws do not state that these laws are meant for NDC people and these laws are meant for NPP people. You see, what is wrong is wrong. What is right is right. He is a person who is politically affiliated or not.
You see, somebody sits on a show, right?
Yeah.
Everybody vote for one party or the other.
Right.
Even if they don't identify with the party, the justice of the court, they vote, don't they? They do. Electoral commissioners can vote, don't they? Everybody can identify, say, I support this party or that. But I'm saying that truth is truth, unless what the person is saying is a lie. Then you say, this thing you are saying, I'm not sure of the veracity of it, so let me call a government person to come and respond.
Yeah.
But if what the person is saying is true, and there's no need for verification, there's no need for confirmation, we all know that the country is hard.
And sometimes
fuel prices. See, isn't it a fact that today people have lost their life savings, their investment?
Yeah.
Isn't it a fact that the exchange rate, which was propounded on us as a sign of the weakness of the economy, today has worsened? Isn't it a fact that fuel prices, that food inflation, that our lives are worse off than it was about 6 years ago? Isn't it a fact? And if somebody propound this fact, what confirmation do you need? Do you need Kojo Oponkroma to come and tell us how our pocket is? I came here today with nothing in my pocket. I don't need Kojo Oponkroma or any government spokesperson to come and tell me how my life is.
All right.
The people are a clear testament of their lives. So allow the people to speak their mind, please.
Thank you, Mr.